All right, so thank you all. Thank you all for coming out, and this will not be long, and the weather's going to make it even shorter. As we dedicate this statue, this prayer comes from, this gratitude ritual rather comes from Kathy Grion Starr. She says the impact of COVID-19 pandemic is real for all of us, whether we were touched by it directly or indirectly. Some of us know people who've had the virus, and the impact is getting closer and closer and closer. We share a ritual to recognize the deaths of COVID-19 due to the particular pain of grieving and isolation, as well as lift up the gratitude for all of those who are in the front line. So Carol's going to be joining me with this impromptu. So we are going to ring this bell in honor of those who are working on the front lines in the hospitals, the nursing homes, the grocery stores, the funeral homes, the gas stations. Ring the bell. Ring the bell to send our love to those who died in isolation, especially those whom we know and those whom we love, or are those who are loved by those we know. I invite you to name them now if you've known someone who's died from COVID-19. Shirley Sage, Billy Swain, Gail Lambert, Pete Stewart, Mrs. Nichols. We ring this bell to send our love to all those who are grieving. We ring this bell to recognize the enormity of this pandemic's impact on each and every one of us and on those whom we love. We ring this bell on grief and in honor and recognition. Most of all, we ring it in love. So I'm going to reveal this sculpture to us and then bless it, and then I'm going to explain it. Although I don't think art needs explanation, but I'm going to try it. There we go. All right. Join me in the blessing of this sculpture. Bless the creators, O God, who by their gifts made this world and more joyful and more beautiful realm. Through their labors, they teach us to see more clearly the truth that is around us. In their inspiration to call forth wonder and awe in our own living, in their hope and in their vision, they remind us that love is holy. Bless all who create, God, in your image. Pour your spirit upon them, that their hearts may sing and their works may be fulfilling. Amen. So, November 2020, which seems like eons ago. Now, worship and music got together and said, oh, it's almost All Saints Day. We're not in church, but we should still do something. So, with the help of a lot of people, and I'm not going to name names because I'll inevitably forget people, so you know who you are, we took these wires and we strung them across the front of our church, each ribbon representing 1,000 lines. We began with about 250 of them on that All Saints Day, about 250,000 people on that All Saints Day of 2020. That's only US deaths, by the way. We didn't even do the world. We just maintained it to the United States. So there it stayed, and there people kept adding ribbons. And in front of here, we had a COVID memorial to mark it about a year and a half of being in lockdown. And we gathered here in front. And then eventually, our doors opened again, and they were being blocked by the ribbons. So we moved it, and people were wondering if we were really open. So we moved the ribbons, and we made it one strand, and we wrapped it around that tree, and we left the ribbons, and we kept adding, and we kept adding, and we kept adding. And then we realized we needed to take our standing memorial and we needed to turn it into something else. As the world was transforming into something else, as it became clear that this is not something that was going to go away if we just isolated for 2 weeks, things we learned in March of 2020 and 2020. So in that, it was organized that we went out to Hot Art Studio in Romulus, and we worked with Alex and Casey out there, and we welded together this sculpture, which, as you can see, is a butterfly. And we have moved the COVID stands from a string into the wings to make the colors of the butterfly. You can recognize this base is COVID, right? With the red ball with the spikes, that's what this is. It moves into hope, it transforms into hope, and we thought that a butterfly was a symbol of transition. So I have heard it said that sometimes we think that what takes place in that cocoon is like this very peaceful process, but it's not. It's very hard to become a butterfly. Don't just our cat goes and eat a lot and then transform into a butterfly overnight. It's a lot more than this. So we have left the other ribbons that weren't part of the wings in the hopes that this will take flight. And we also are hopeful that this is portable if you have a truck. Not portable if you have a hatchback. So that's right. And at least 2 people to carry it. I'm glad no one got those images of us carrying that yesterday, Jimmy, from the back of the church to the front here. But it is our hope that this is something that can symbolize that transformation and God's transforming love, not only in our community, but throughout our presbytery, throughout our county, in the other churches. We invite them all to come and to, take turns moving this around, as COVID is something that has touched all of our lives. So we're going to end now with this quote, inspired by our ancestors, and this was written by Leah Derlin Jones. For us, gratitude and thanks. May their memory be a blessing. May we feel surrounded by their love as we go forth from this time and this place. Let us be inspired by their courage, their wisdom, and their dreams. Let us honor them by doing the work of the living, boldly, loving mightily, and creating heaven on earth. Amen. And blessed be.